Welcome back to Crypto Lion. Today we'll be looking at some Bitcoin price predictions. Enjoy the juicy facts and figures coming up. Like and subscribe to this channel to view more videos like this one. The beginning of 2021 saw a lot of all-time highs for a number of cryptocurrencies. That in turn led to a series of positive forecasts for 2021. So, for example, Citi analysts predicted the price of Bitcoin at the level of $300,000 at the end of 2021. Although JP Morgan does not give exact numbers, it confirms that Bitcoin has the potential for further growth, as it competes with gold as an alternative means for storing capital. Mike Novogratz, a manager of a cryptocurrency hedge fund, specifies $65,000 as a realistic level. According to the Stock-to-Flow, a Bitcoin price prediction system, Bitcoin USD will reach $100,000 by December 2021. The fact that the market is overheated is also indicated by the Google Trends chart. The world is experiencing a similar interest in the growth of Bitcoin, as was last seen in December 2017. People see that Bitcoin has twice surpassed the memorable peak of $20,000 and potentially experienced the characteristic FOMO. This effect, the fear of missing out, is quite real. Bitcoin may undergo a parabolic 2021, as it did in 2013 and 2017, if previous patterns play out again. New highs are a next potential iteration for the firstborn crypto and may be only a matter of time unless something we don't foresee trips up the trend of greater adoption and demand versus constrained supply. Favorable macroeconomics, akin to those buoying gold, supports the digital store of value, notably versus the oversupplied broader crypto market. Previous Bitcoin resistance at about $10,000 may transition toward $20,000 in 2021. Bitcoin has just closed one of the biggest years in its history, second only to the cryptomania-fueled retail rally of 2017. The Bitcoin price has added over 300% during the last 12 months, climbing past its 2017 highs amid renewed institutional interest and the prospect of broader mainstream adoption. It's still quite bullish on an intermediate-term basis, given that Bitcoin just broke out new all-time highs. Mark Newton, founder and president of Newton Advisors, told CNBC's Trading Nation this week, pointing to charts that show the bull run might be put on pause in early 2021, "I think we have a ways to go. Near term, my cycle composite shows us peaking out in early January." The Bitcoin price has come within touching distance of $30,000 this week, hitting $29,700 per Bitcoin on the Luxembourg-based Bitstamp exchange before falling back slightly. Bitcoin is up fourfold from the beginning of 2020 and completed its biggest monthly gain since May 2019 in December. Bitcoin's latest bull run was sparked in October by news that payments giant PayPal would begin offering Bitcoin and cryptocurrency support. It was boosted by a wave of institutional interest in Bitcoin and Wall Street giants including Citibank and JP Morgan. JP Morgan making surprisingly bullish Bitcoin predictions. In December, a leaked Citi report revealed one of the bank's senior analysts thinks Bitcoin could potentially hit a high of $318,000 by December 2021, calling it 21st century gold. Bitcoin has built up its reputation as digital gold throughout 2020. Finding support from investors who are wary massive government money printing will devalue traditional currencies and trigger a wave of inflation. Bitcoin dominance, a measure of Bitcoin's value compared to the wider cryptocurrency market, has ticked up in recent weeks but remains more or less flat over the last 12 months. While a growing institutional presence has been part of the narrative of the current bull run, we may see increased retail interest in Bitcoin as a form of digital gold. This could also bolster interest in the many innovative products coming to fruition within the digital token space. Bitcoin's annual supply will drop to less than 2% next year, and if past halvings serve as a signpost, 2021 should be a strong up year. If the crypto advances just one quarter of the roughly 1,375% in 2017, the year after the daily supply of new coins dropped to 1,800, Bitcoin would exceed $35,000 in 2021, versus about $13,700 on November 3rd. In 2013, Bitcoin advanced over 5,000%. Until 2024, only 900 new coins a day will be added to the current 18.5 million. Expect the best from Bitcoin in 2021. Keep your head high, stay alert, and don't lose focus. Bitcoin will surprise you. Its long-term existence and fame will make its price go haywire, more than any other crypto. Bitcoin may have pulled off its all-time high, but cryptocurrency bulls are confident that exponential gains remain ahead. In fact, one expert said yesterday that the digital currency is on track to take out $600,000, as long as a few things fall into place. So what do you need to know about the latest Bitcoin price predictions? Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has gained just more than 6%. That means the crypto is currently trading hands for about $37,000, off its all-time high of about $40,000. The gains come as investors return to the cryptocurrencies with a vengeance. Last week, the stock market honed in on a series of speculative retail stocks. Old school names like GameStop and AMC Entertainment promised short squeeze power and company turnarounds. However, when trading platforms like Robinhood implemented restrictions on individual investors, the little guys felt betrayed. This betrayal sparked a surge of interest in decentralized finance and everything else cryptos have to offer. This new DeFi wave has spurred on gains in Bitcoin, as well as ushering in an all-time high in Ethereum. However, one expert has set a new Bitcoin price prediction of $600,000, laying out a case for the crypto to rally much higher. So what do you need to know? Guggenheim Partners Chief Investment Officer Scott Minerd told CNN on Tuesday that Bitcoin is heading for $600,000. This comes just months after he called for Bitcoin prices to reach $400,000. Explaining why he was adjusting his target, he said that he thinks growing institutional support will justify long-term gains. This year has been a wild ride for anyone invested in or even just watching the Bitcoin market. The world's most valuable virtual currency in December traded at more than $23,000. When the US first began grappling with COVID-19 in early March, Bitcoin was below $4,000. For owners or sellers, it's a gut-twisting source of gains and losses. For those on the sidelines like me, it's an entertaining market show. Despite that tremendous Bitcoin price fluctuation in a generally upward direction, 2020 was also a year of relative maturity for a currency that, after all, has only been trading for a decade. As a crypto enthusiast, here are what I see as the crucial Bitcoin trends in 2021. 1. More mainstream acceptance. Bitcoin's use in everyday life has always had a chicken-egg problem. Very few use or accept it because, for one thing, very few use or accept it. But 2020 saw a striking evolution in Bitcoin adaptation. Prominent fintech companies, from Square's investment of $50 million in Bitcoin to PayPal allowing its users to buy and sell Bitcoin, gave it a stamp of approval. As 2021 goes by, we'll likely see an extension of this mainstream embrace. Look for at least one major US or European bank to announce some kind of system where they either enable Bitcoin purchases or agree to hold digital assets for their clients. 2. Competition from big tech. Whatever Bitcoin may or may not have accomplished in its decade of existence, it has forced a lot of big, global entities to think about offering an international digital currency. Every company involved in the payment space understands not only that there's a market for digital payments still up for grabs, but that payments involving different currency markets have the most potential. That's because currently such transactions can take days to resolve and often involve hefty fees. Bitcoin has demonstrated, if embryonically, that a global digital currency can dramatically streamline that process. This year, both Facebook and Google, companies with a massive global reach that Bitcoin can only dream of, move forward with big digital currency plans. Tech offerings like Facebook's DM aren't exactly the same as Bitcoin, but if they start to catch on in 2021, they may eat a little into Bitcoin's growth. 3. Competition from central banks. This year, the Bank for International Settlements issued a report and survey indicating that 80% of the world's central banks are working on some form of digital currency. China has taken the digital currency experimentation much further than any other nation. Recently, in the eastern Chinese city Suzhou, just west of Shanghai, a lottery was held in which 100,000 residents each received 200 renminbi, which is about $30, via a digital wallet. They were encouraged to link their digital cash to their bank accounts, and if they didn't spend their digital cash within a few weeks, it disappeared. Both great techniques to advance the experiment. As China moves towards nationwide adaptation of the digital yuan, it is likely to undercut demand for Bitcoin and other independent cryptocurrencies. Next year may see similar experiments in other countries. 4. A new regulatory playing field. President Joe Biden's administration will have higher priorities in its first 90 days than regulating cryptocurrency. And of course, Congress's mood and expertise on the subject is hard to read. The natural assumption is that a Democratic administration will regulate more stringently than a Republican administration. Yet some have asserted that Biden will be good for cryptocurrency. Maybe, but Bitcoin enthusiasts tend to overlook issues like anonymity and its potential use for fraud. For regulators, those are very serious concerns. Biden's team might well come up with a more comprehensive and rational way of regulating cryptocurrency, but I would not bet on any favoritism towards Bitcoin in particular. 5. Continued volatility. Because the value of Bitcoin is not directly tied to any obvious real-world phenomenon, such as fiscal or monetary policy, it can appreciate or depreciate in ways that are hard to predict or even explain. As an investment, this makes it hard to recommend for anyone hoping to avoid big losses. Some say Bitcoin could reach as high as $50,000 next year, and although that seems extreme, it's not out of the question if investors move money from other assets into Bitcoin. Of course, it's just as possible that the price will head in the opposite direction in 2021. The one thing that seems certain is that the wild ride of 2020 will be repeated. So buckle up. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that notification bell. What other Bitcoin topics would you like us to talk about? Let us know in the comments below. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of the videos on your screen. See you next time.